Welcome, this is Hugh Massey from DNA Behaviour. In today's session, I'm going to address our quality life planning discovery process that we have in financial DNA. A critical part of financial planning is understanding a client's goals and then building the plan in terms of the financial decision making, the solutions around those goals. But in order for a client to set their goals, they firstly need to know who they are. They need to know what their talents are, what their passions are, their values, and their life purpose. The more that a client has clarity of those issues, the easier it will be to define their goals and stay committed to them for the long term. What I've found over a long period of time in working with clients in this area is that when you ask them what their goals are, they'll come up with a few. And some can't even come up with a few. And then suddenly a life event happens and they will just change. Now, there may be reasons for some of the goals to change, but there are also foundational points here that when a person's under pressure or something happens, we still want them to stay committed to the bigger goals. And the clearer a client is about their life purpose, the easier it will be to stay the course and not just make spontaneous changes when something happens or they're feeling like moving in a different direction. I've always found it dangerous as an advisor putting in place financial solutions, particularly long-term financial solutions for clients that are not clear about their goals, because this just often leads to undoing the financial transaction or decision at the wrong moment, usually when the market's gone down and there being a high cost. So to address this at Financial DNA, whilst we put a lot of emphasis on understanding a person's natural hardwired behavior and their learned behaviors, what is their financial personality, we also believe it's equally important to understand what the client's life purpose is, which starts with their talents, passions, unique gifts, mission, values. So the quality life planning process is embedded in our financial DNA discovery process at the broader level to address this area. So the process involves the client firstly completing their financial DNA natural behavior discovery. That's foundational to everything. So for Chris Coddington, here's his 5 strengths and struggles. That's effectively lifted from his financial DNA natural behavior discovery. And then in the report here, here's his passions made up of areas that he's interested in and actions that he enjoys doing. And so we provide a list of potential interest areas for a person to review and tick. So these are the ones that he's most interested in, and then here are the actions as well. We find by having objective checklists, it makes it easier for the client to concentrate and to start making choices. Then we also want to look at the vision for their life. What's the bigger picture that they see for themselves for their life, and what do they want out of it? So the vision being their desired future and their life dreams. Again, we provide checklists, and the client or the participant chooses which ones resonate the most for them. And then we do a similar exercise with their values. And the values being very important in terms of what is important in making key decisions. So, and we break the values up between their life focus and their life legacy. In a way, how do they want to be remembered? And the selections are blended with the natural behavior discovery. So here's the output of that. So this is the more detailed inputs that come from the questionnaire. And then what we do is we take the results that come from completing the quality life planning survey, blend it with the natural behavior discovery key outputs. So here are the talents. And we put it into this worksheet. So coming from the process is the talents, the passion, the vision, and the values. The unique gift is a process that we designed that gets facilitated by the advisor or the coach or mentor with the client. And it's really comes from self-reflection. And the unique gift is that activity, which is the blend of your talents and your passions. In a way, put it down to what's the one thing in the world that you can do better than anybody else and that you love to do. That's your unique gift. That comes from reflecting on the talents and the passion. We then address the vision, and then the mission is, what are you going to go out there and do in life? How are you going to live out your vision and your unique gift? The values then being, as I just mentioned, the foundations for decision making of what is important, what is non-negotiable in your life. And we piece all that together to come up with a life purpose statement. In a way, what is your calling that you're going to, or the client's going to come back to every time they make a key decision. Like, for instance, my calling in life is to help people all over the world become financially self-empowered. And I do that through the DNA behavior systems. That's my mission, is to build systems that enable people all over the world to become financially self-empowered. So this process does involve some facilitation. And what I'm going to show you now is the output of that. So here for Chris Coddington, this is now being completed. So his unique gift is filled in, guiding people to achieve personal clarity by providing highly objective solutions. So that's what he is great at doing based on his talents and his passion. His mission, providing people with strategic advisory services, behavioral tools, and education programs to help them realize their financial potential. And then we can put it into a sheet like this for presentation, safekeeping, and this is what Chris should come back to every time he's going to make a key decision in his life. The advisor should have this on their files. Chris should have it on his file, and it's become sort of the guide stick for all decision making in the future. It can be a dynamic document to some degree, in that some of the elements may evolve, and certainly in the wordsmithing of it. But the core foundation, hopefully you can get to be pretty sticky over a period of time. Mine has not really changed other than a little bit of wordsmithing over 20 years now. And every decision I make stays true to my purpose.